This lesson is on multiplying decimals. When you multiply decimals, what you need to do is count the number of places behind the decimal in both factors. So we'll start with the first one. We have 2 places behind the decimal, the 4 and the 6. And over here to the side, I'm going to write a 2. In the second factor, we have 1 place behind the decimal, and that's the 7. I'm going to write a 1. Now we're going to add those up in a minute, but now we're going to ignore the decimals completely and we're going to multiply as if this were a regular multiplication problem with no decimals. This problem is going to have 2 partial products, so it's going to take us a minute to work it through, but let's work it now. 7 times 6 is 42. We write down our 2. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 4 is 32. We write down our 2, we carry our 3. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17. Keep my numbers in all of their columns. Now I'm going to cross these off. We're done with our 7. I'm going to put a 0 in the ones house, and we're going to proceed with our second digit in our multiplier. 3 times 6 is 18. We'll write down our 8. We'll carry our 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now we're going to add these up. We're going to bring our product down to the bottom. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry our 1. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Bring down our 1, carry a 1. 1 plus 1 plus 7 is 9. So our answer would seem to be 9,102, but wait, we need to put in the decimal. Now we go back to our factors where we wrote down how many decimal places were behind the decimal, and we had 2 and 1. We're going to add those together, and we're going to come down here to our product, and we're going to notice that we need to have 3 decimal places in our answer. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put our decimal right there. So our answer is really 9 and 102 thousandths. So again, as we multiply, we first look at how many places we have behind the decimal in the factors, and we're going to write those down. Let's do some practice problems. All right, first things first. Let's look at how many places are behind the decimal. And our first number is 3.87. We have 2 places behind the decimal. Our second factor, our multiplier, is 0.05. Again, we have 2 places behind the decimal. Now we're going to leave those alone and we're going to do our multiplying. 5 times 7 is 35. There are 3. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 3 is 43. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19. Done with those carry numbers. We're done with our 5. We'll put a 0 in the ones house because we're done with the ones house. Now 0 times 7 will of course be 0, 0 times 8, 0 times 3, all zeros. I'm going to add our partial products. 5 plus 0 is 5, 3 plus 0 is 3, 9 plus 0 is 9, 1 plus 0 is 1. And it would look like our answer is 1,935, but we need to go back and add our numbers that were behind the decimal. We had a 2 and a 2. We're going to add those up and we get 4 places behind the decimal. So we're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, and our decimal is going to go in front. So our answer is 1,935 10,000ths. Let's try that again on our next problem. We have just 1 digit behind the decimal in our multiplicand. We have 1 digit behind our decimal in our multiplier. Now let's multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry our 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Done with both of those. We're done with the number in our ones house. We'll put a 0 here. Now we'll multiply the 4. 4 times 6 is 24. We'll carry. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 2 is 38. Okay. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Now again, we're done with those numbers. We can carry them, or you can erase them and get rid of them entirely. We're done with the 4. We are not going to multiply in the ones house or the tens house because we're done with those, and now we're going to move to the 1. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. There was nothing to carry. Now we have 3 partial products. We need to add all of them up. 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 0, still 13. Carry our 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 9 is 12. 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. Now it would appear that our number would be 42,032, but don't put any commas in. We need to put our decimals in. Go back to the top. We had 1 place behind the decimal, 1 place behind the decimal. We add those together. That makes 2 places behind our decimal. So we'll move our decimal and we'll put it right there. So our answer is 420 and 32 thousandths. Let's do a couple of more practice problems. Again, first thing, count the number of decimals. We have 2 in our multiplicand. We have 1 in our multiplier. And let's do our multiplying. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry our 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Carry our 1. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. Remember, keep your numbers in good columns. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Done with all of those carry numbers. We're done with our 3. We'll put a 0 in our ones house and we'll multiply the 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1, that's 9. Nothing to carry. 2 times 7 is 14. Or carry your 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Those are our partial products. Now we add. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. 2 plus 9 is 11. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus 4 is 13. 1 plus 5 is 6. Now we go back and count the numbers that were behind the decimal and our factors. There were 2 plus 1. That's 3. So go over 3 places, put your decimal. We have 63 and 135 thousandths. One last problem that we'll practice with. We have 2 numbers behind the decimal in our multiplicand. We have 1 number behind the decimal in our multiplier. Let's multiply. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 5 is 29. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 2 is 34. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 3 is 35. All of these, done with our 8, put a 0 in your ones house. 4 times 7 is 28. 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2, 14. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1, 17. 4 times 4 again, 16, plus 1 is 17 again. We're going to add 6 plus 0, 6. 9 plus 8, 17. Carry. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 4 is 9. Nothing to carry. 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 7 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Now go back and count your decimal places. We had 2 plus 1, that's 3 places. We count over 1, 2, 3. From the left to the right, we have 212 and 976 thousandths. That's the end of our lesson on multiplying decimals.